Okay, I have the Sourcingbay M268 portable GSM and CDMA telephone. As you can see, the screen just went off, but it does have an LCD screen and backlit keyboard. I will show you that later, but it goes off by itself, but you can change your settings. Okay, there you are, back on with the screen back on, the keys backlit. It uses SIM cards like regular phones, but it uses 2G SIM cards. You can use 3G or 4G SIM cards, but they have to be compatible with 2G networks. You can store up to 200 contacts on the phone. As I mentioned, it uses quad band 2G GSM SIMs. The old model couldn't use CDMA networks such as Sprint, but this newer model can use both. It can use GSM and CDMA networks. It has various other functions, not just telephone. You can also use alarm clock. It has messaging, so you can send things like text messaging, things like that. It has built-in antenna as well, so you don't have to worry about using an external antenna or buying a new one. It comes with a dock, a cradle that will charge the rechargeable battery that's built in. This is good for various uses because it's more than just your regular telephone, because you can use a SIM card, so you can do things like messaging on it as well, but yet it's not a full complicated smartphone. It might be too complicated for some people, such as children or elderly people. This is nice and simple, straightforward to use. It's kind of designed like a regular telephone, but you can do more with it, and it has backlit keyboard, nice big screen, easy to see, clear and easy to use. So it has lots of uses. Also, because it uses SIM, you can use it on the go in places where you perhaps couldn't use a regular phone, and there's no need for a landline phone. So it's good to take with you as well if you're on holidays. You could take it to things like the remote country areas, places perhaps with a weak telephone line or no telephone line. It has multitude of uses. There's no need for, like I say, any cable or landline phone. It's easy to use and operate. It's got powerful signal receiving, clear talk setting as well. It uses a battery, so it's rechargeable. So that's a good thing about having a rechargeable battery. All you have to do is have this dock that you can see it in now plugged into the mains power, then use it, then come back, sit it back in the cradle, and once you do that, once it's in the cradle, it automatically starts charging. You don't have to plug in any cables, you don't have to plug in a USB cable. You just sit it back in this dock and it's charging while it's in the dock. The dock is included free, as well as a mains power cord to go from the dock to your mains power. As I mentioned at first, on the Amazon product page, it may, depending upon if they've changed or not by the time you watch this video, it may say that it is only suitable for GSM networks and is not compatible with some networks such as Sprint that use CDMA. Well, this is the newer model, and in the manual itself it does even specify suitable for GSM or CDMA networks because it's a newer model. It also does support caller ID. It also has intelligent STK and security management, so it has security functions built in. It records history, auto saves the last 20 dialed and received phone numbers and the last 20 missed calls. It also supports call transfer and even call waiting. Because it has a nice LCD screen, it does display various status messages and including time and date and signal strength. There's various ringtones you can choose from it as well, just like if you're using a mobile phone, a regular mobile phone or smartphone. It has a calculator and alarm clock function, and the standby time is up to 72 hours, so it has up to 72 hours of standby time. The networks that are supported is GSM 900 and 1800 MHz, GSM 850, 900, 1800 and 1900 MHz, WCDMA, HSPA 900 and 2100 MHz, also CDMA 800 MHz. For the power which goes into the dock, not it, but into the dock, it uses a 5V DC. Talk time of 2 to 6 hours, that's talk time. Charging time takes about 6 hours to fully charge the battery, but the good thing is you don't have to worry about remembering to plug it in any cables. You just pop it back in the dock and it's charging all the time. So it's nice and easy to take in and out of dock. So if somebody is, say you're giving this to an elderly relative, something like that, you don't have to worry about them having a trouble taking in and out of the dock, because it does slide in and out really, really easily. There, it's really easy. I thought you might have to pull a bit to get it out, but you don't. It slides in and out really easily. Let's have a closer look. Okay, here it is a bit closer up. If I just hit a button so we can see the green backlight in here. Here's the screen. I'm not sure how well you can actually see it on camera, the screen. But here are the buttons. It's backlit except for this last row. I don't know why that is. 0 and the hash key here. These last 3 buttons on the bottom row are not backlit. All the rest are. So from these navigation buttons and core and end core and right, left and right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they are all green backlit, just not the last row. I don't know why that is. Now if we turn it on here a sec, you can see what I mean. But luckily the main ones that people are going to use are backlit. These will be used, of course, less, but it would be nice to see those backlit as well. It goes off, as you can see, to save power after a few seconds, but you can change that. Same with the screen. By default, the screen, as you see, will turn off relatively quickly, but we can adjust that. So let's actually have a look at some of the menus. This isn't a tutorial, this is just a review, so I'm not going to go into all the settings and how to change them, how to set everything up, as it's just really a review, but let's just have a quick look. Okay, here's the main menu. It says insert SIM because I haven't got one in at the moment. Then you have the time and date, including the first 3 letters of the day. So it's there nicely, easy to see any time, which is really handy. Then if we hit right, we can get to contacts, or the left button to get to main menu. As you can see from the menu here, we can scroll up and down, left and right, but left and right is not these. These are like back and OK. It's these down here. That's left and right next to the mute button there. So we go left, left, right, then up and down here. And we can go across and you can see things like call logs, contacts, messaging, application, alarm for the alarm clock, calendar, calculator, profiles, you set up profiles, and then settings. So if we go to settings and hit OK, now OK is the left button up here. We can then scroll up and down to various settings such as core settings or the phone settings. And if we select OK here, this is where we can set the time and date and language and any shortcuts and auto power off. So if we go auto power off, that is where we shut off. So we can have it shut off and turn on at a certain time of day. So we could say, okay, we want this phone to be on from 8 AM or 9 AM each day, because before that I'm going to be in bed, so there's no need. And then we can say, well, I go to bed at, say, midnight, so we can have it turn off at midnight and only come on when I get up. So that will save a lot of power. So that is actually really, really good. And you can turn those features on and off. So if you don't want them, you can turn it off. And that's about it, apart from factory reset, to reset all the settings to its factory default. From there, if we go back using this top right button, we then go to display. And then we can select different wallpaper or the idle display setting, contrast, and the backlighting. So remember, the backlighting can sometimes turn off too soon. Well, we can change it there and hit select and have it always on if we want. That will use a lot more battery, but it will stay on much longer. So you might say 15 seconds is too much. You might want to change it to 20 or 30. So let's have 30 for now. Then scroll down, and then you have backlight keyboard. So how long do you want the green backlighting on the keys to be on? Well, 10 seconds seem to be a little, go off a little too soon. So you can have off, night mode, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So we can hit 20 if it wasn't on long enough before. Scroll down and it goes back to wallpaper, so we can hit the top right button to say that we're done. Then there's security and connections, and that's it. So we can hit the top right to go back, and then hit it again to go back to main screen. Then once we've done everything, have it all set up, we can always just put it back in the cradle, and then there we are. And there we are. So now we have some of our settings set up. We have our time and date. We have the backlighting turned up on the display, so the actual monitor, the LCD, won't turn off as often. And we have that changed on the backlighting on the keyboard as well, so that will go off every 20 seconds, not every 10 seconds. Or if we wanted these things to go off sooner, we could change that. Or the display, we could always have it always on. But of course these things use more battery, so it depends upon how you like it. Now what about putting in the SIM and the battery, because the battery is in the box so it doesn't use it up? Well, it's around the back here. If we just slide this down here, that is where the battery goes in. There is metal contacts on the top left of the battery and on the top left of the phone, and you just match them up and pop it in and put the back on for the battery. Now the SIM is actually underneath the battery, so if we take this out here, okay, here you see this big green sort of patch here, that is the SIM tray. That is the same as in a lot of mobile phones. Some will do it differently, like the iPhone, but if you're familiar with things like Android phones, you pop the back cover off and you install the SIM. That's beyond this review. This isn't a tutorial. This is not a tutorial about installing SIM cards, but that's where you put it in. Then here at the top left you can see little metal ends. That is for the battery. As you can see here, there is some metal ends on the end of the battery, and you just match it in like that. Basically drop it in. You basically match it here, match it there, drop it in. It's really easy. If you're familiar with mobile phone batteries or smartphone batteries and putting those in, it's very straightforward. You just match the metal up here to where the metal is on this, line it up, and just drop the battery in, just pop it in. It's really simple, straightforward, quick and easy. So I think there's only probably two other questions you may have, which is one, what is the price, and two, this uses SIM, or can you use it on a mains instead because it's that sort of style looking phone? No, this isn't for cable phones or landline phones. This is basically like a mobile phone, but more intended to stay at home, although you can take it with you if you want, or you could take it on holiday, whatever, but it's mostly kind of a at-home mobile phone type thing. So no, you can't use landline on it. And the price is about £25, so it's nicely priced, especially for one. It's nice rechargeable like that with the cradle that you just pop it in. It's actually a very nice little mobile phone here, aimed probably primarily at either elderly people or your children. If you have a child, maybe you want to give this to them. There's various uses for it. It's really nice, and it's £25, £24.99 in the UK, with a recommended retail price of £50, $49.99. So £25 is really nice. You could see that something like this might perhaps be more expensive, like 30, 50, but it's 25, so it's nicely priced, and this model does now support both of those type of networks, GSM and CDMA, whereas previous models didn't. So if you have a 2G SIM card, you should be fine, and it should work without any problems. So it's really, really good. It even has all those additional functions like caller ID, and it will store up to 200 contacts, and you've got the alarm clock and things like that function on it as well. So it's a really actually full featured little phone here, and I think it's really good. It could be very, very handy for a lot of people. So I do actually recommend it. I think it's a good price, and I really think it's a good quality little device. I do recommend it. Please like and comment on this video, and if you could do me a huge favour and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it just takes a few seconds and will help me out a lot. Also, if you're watching this as a review on the Amazon product page, please hit the useful, helpful button along with this video. That will help me out a lot too. Thanks for watching.